Have you noticed that some of your colleagues are able to position themselves really well, articulate their ideas really clearly, and get buy-in for their own visibility? And you're wondering, how do they do that? Well, in this video, what I'm going to share with you is a professional's way on how do you sell yourself effectively. When it comes to selling yourself effectively, there are 5 key milestones to do so. And the first milestone is the mindset shift. This must come first. Before any of the milestones, before you consider any of the milestones, this mindset shift must come first. So what is the mindset shift I refer to? Well, have you ever had that experience where you walk into a retail store and you are shopping? You have an intention, you kind of know what you want to buy, but you just got to find the right thing, and you know it. When you see it, you know that's the right one. And it could be many things. It could be a watch, it could be a purse, right? Or it could be some sort of an article of clothing. But you walk into these retail stores and you're browsing, and then the salesperson, the sales rep comes to you, follows you around the store, and once whatever you touch, they go, oh, did you know this was made up of this kind of fur? Did you know that this came from, this was a new shipment we had? Oh, did you know this watch has an option there where you can turn this dial and it's got a chronograph on it? And they keep following you around, and what's the first thing you say? The first thing you say to that sales rep is, oh, I'm just looking, thank you, I'm just looking. Right? And we've all had that experience. And now, why is this important? Why am I telling you this? The reason why I'm telling you this is because as a result of these experiences in sales, we've come to have quite a negative relationship with sales. Wouldn't you agree? Sales just feels yucky. It feels awkward. It feels fake. It feels like I'm lying to somebody. It just feels yucky. Right? So as a result of that, if you have had that experience for a long time, and now you recognize the importance that now I got to be the one selling, I got to sell myself, I got to sell my idea, and it continues, and as long as it continues to feel yucky, it's going to be very difficult for you to step up and sell yourself, because there's going to be a cognitive dissonance. So the first thing is to change your relationship with sales and recognize that no matter how you've experienced sales being done in retail, that's the way it was done then, and it gave you a yucky experience, didn't it? So then when it's time for you to sell yourself and for you to sell your ideas, don't sell yourself that way. Don't use those methodologies. Don't give your audience that same experience. Instead, recognize that the only reason why those salespeople did it that way and it felt so yucky is because they sold to you the way they want to sell. And that's why it feels yucky, because that's not the way you want to buy. So when you're in front of your higher ups, when you're in that meeting room, you are speaking to your senior executives. Sell yourself, sell your idea the way they want to receive it. That's the first step. Recognize that your relationship with sales needs to change. And once it does, now you can be free. You can eliminate the limiting beliefs you have around the activity of sales, and you can move forward. The second milestone is called obscurity. Obscurity, exactly, that's what it means. Obscure, it means nobody knows who you are. And in this moment, you're working hard, you put your head down, you have a solid work ethic, you're disciplined, you're focused, right? And you're working hard, and you're hoping that someone's going to call you. You're hoping that someone's going to notice. You're hoping that someone's going to knock on your door. You're hoping you're going to get that phone call. You're hoping that performance review will turn out positive. So this is obscurity. Now, if you're in that place, recognize that this is the second milestone to selling yourself. We must go through these milestones, and we must last through the learning curve to get to the next milestone. So let's talk about what that next milestone is. The third milestone to selling yourself is performance. And this is your ability to perform. Now, you've passed through the previous milestone, which is obscurity, which is solid work ethic and your discipline. Now you're here at performance. In this milestone, you're really good at what you do. By now, you're good at what you do. You're reliable. You're dependable. People know you're going to get the work done and get it done by the deadline. They know you're going to put your best in it. They know it. So they depend on you. They rely on you. And you yourself, you know you're skilled. You also know that you're dependable and you're reliable. So there's this competition around, I need to compete based on my skills. I need to compete based on my resume, my skills, my years of experience, and what I list in terms of what I've achieved. And at this stage of performance, people introduce you by your job title, and people know you by your job title. They may not know exactly all that you do and all that you contribute. They just know you by your job title and therefore your job level. And at this stage of performance, you are hoping that if you were just to articulate your skill set and develop and hone your skill set, that it'll speak for itself. And you're thinking that this is where at this stage of performance, you feel like I need to snatch up an opportunity before someone else does. I need to work harder at my skills. I need to work harder and maybe longer to prove myself, to let my results speak for themselves, and to be more dependable and more reliable. And by the way, you may be able to achieve that, but correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes you get noticed, sometimes you don't. But usually you feel fatigue because there's this effort to perform. There's a performance, there's a competition, and there's burnout, there's a fear, there's anxiety, there's a lot of, I need to be faster, harder and faster. So this is the next milestone, is performance. And it goes in this order, right? You have the mindset shift first, and you might have to last through the learning curve of the second milestone of obscurity. Now you're at performance. So now let's look at the next milestone. The fourth milestone is branded. This milestone is mission critical, right? As before, you worked hard to develop your performance. You are dependable, reliable, you're focused as well, you have a solid work ethic. By now, eventually, if you sell yourself properly, if you communicate properly, you can become branded. And at this stage, the mission critical stage, your name gets attached to something unique. Your name gets attached to it. People associate you with something very unique that you provide. And at this stage, it's a thought process, right? This is more of a higher level of strategic principles-based level. Your name gets associated with that, and it's only you. It is unique. Something about you is unique, and it could be a combination of something about you and who you are and what's important to you, in combination of what you can provide, your expertise as well. So at this stage in branding, your name can get attached to three possible things. Right? The first thing that your name can get attached to is the result you provide. The second thing that your name could get attached to is some sort of experience that you gave to another person. It could be a key stakeholder, at best if it's a key stakeholder. The third thing that your name could get attached to is some sort of expert insight or intellectual property, and it's proprietary. That is your proprietary one. So those are the three possible things that your name can get attached to, and when that happens, you are branded. It could get attached to more than one of these three things, but it's one of these three things. So at this milestone, you're branded when you recognize that that has happened. The fifth milestone for selling yourself, this milestone is called the one. You've passed the mission critical stage, which was branded, and now you are the one. In other words, it's the combination. When you have provided the results, the desirable results of other people, when you have articulate and you consistently and persistently articulated your expert insights, when your name is attached to an experience, you continuously and consistently give an experience that other people desire as well, that's unique to you. That package, that proprietary package that's made up of you, the authentic you, the true you, the whole self of you, now you are the one. At this milestone, the one means they need you. They recognize they need that whole package. They recognize that they need what you have, who you are, and that is the one. So these are the 5 milestones to selling yourself. All throughout the process, one thing that all these milestones have in common is prudent communication. Effective communication is your ability to express. And in the beginning, when you are having that mindset shift, it's the communication with yourself. In the second milestone, when it comes to performance, you're communicating in terms of your actions, but you're also communicating in terms of metrics. And your level of communication gets higher and higher and higher. And when you become branded, the mission critical shift now is to communicate your thought process, your ideas, those deep expert insights, the IP. So by the time you are at the one, the shift between branded and the one is the how consistent and persistent you are at communicating those. So these are the 5 milestones to soft skills. If you enjoyed this video, I invite you to comment below and share with me what was your one key takeaway. As well, click the comment, like and subscribe, and I will release more videos like this if I hear from you. Some time ago, I also created content on when you are selling to the C-suite, how do you get buy-in? And so I talk about 3 ways on how you can get buy-in in front of the C-suite executives. That video is coming right up next. I'll see you there.